Hello, welcome to I'll keep it quick, a quick update on the Purifier progress. If you've been playing this character, you don't need to see me running around, leveling up, grabbing all the points. What you need to know is, well, what you possibly need to know is where I've been putting the skill points on this character. The attribute points have all been in physique. I've not put any into cunning or spirit. I haven't needed to yet. I might have to later on if I get a ring or something that needs points in spirit, but I'm going to try and avoid that. I'm going to try and stick all of them in physique. Let's talk about where I put the skill points. Level 71, I put 1 into Brimstone, 1 into Blast Shield. 72, Thermite Mine and Inquisitor Seal. 73, Brimstone and Inquisitor Seal. 74 to 77, 1 into Inquisitor Seal. 78, 2 into Inquisitor Seal. 74, Deadly Aim. 75, Blast Shield. 76, Ranged Expertise. 77, Blast Shield. So Inquisitor Seal, when it got to level 78, was maxed out. I don't know if this is exactly matching the recent video I put up showing skill point allocation for this build. Might not be exactly the same. The end result will be the same. Doesn't matter what you do, you want Inquisitor Seal maxed out. If you don't max yours out by 78, or if you max it out by 75, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying you have to do this. This is what I did. The end result, if you go back to the very first video in this series, right back at the start, and look at the last few minutes of that, there's a level 100 Purifier running around, and it shows the skill point allocation as at level 100. So you know where you're heading. How you get there, it's entirely up to you, really. If you think you need more points in defensive stuff, go with that. If you think you need more points in damage, go with that. I completed the Hidden Path quest in Elite, and the skill point reward from that, I started off Word of Renewal, and then at level 79 I put a point into the 2 nodes that come off Word of Renewal, Vigour and Steel Resolve. Probably not going to put any more points into that. I haven't noticed on the level 100 character or characters, I got a couple of these, it's about the 3rd or 4th Purifier I've done. I didn't need to put more points into Word of Renewal. You might end up with different requirements. Depends on what gear you've got. Might be your play style. I don't know. It's just a guide. Level 80, 1 point in Ranged Expertise, 1 in Deadly Aim, and the same at 81. Let's get back to what other massive advances I've made. I'll show you some stuff that I've got. This is just drops. I did a bit of... Obviously I've beat Loghorian in Elite. I don't think I didn't get anything decent off him. But I've had this is a whole bunch of stuff that I've been collecting. Some of this stuff is for future use. Some of it is just old garbage that I've just kept. I mean, I've got a whole load of these. Look at these. There's Marauders ammo belts that have dropped. There's an empowered one. I've got 3 from the original set. 2 gunslingers jackets, that thing. I don't know whether I think I wore that for maybe 2 levels, and there's something better dropped. There's an old pair of Soleil pants. They're always worth keeping for the attack damage converted to health, although that's 4%. I mean, it maxes out at 6, so it's not that brilliant. That thing, you get that from a semi-hidden area in Forgotten Gods. The higher level one's better because it's got +1 to all skills. Well, it's kept that. It's like a trophy. These things dropped. That's probably... I mean, look at that. That's lovely. I'm going to... As soon as I hit 84... Wow, I say that. It depends what else drops. As soon as I hit 84, I'll probably use that. And I might use... Although that's a bit of a chaosy thing, it's still really good. If you notice, that's got +1 to all skills in Demolitionist. Converts physical to fire. That's got +1 to all skills in Inquisitor. Physical to fire. So those 2 paired up would be nice. So you get a +1 to all skills by equipping both of those things. Now that... I'll tag a bit of footage of this on at the end. Don't want to waste too much of your time with like watching me running around. This is just really a progress update. That thing... That drops off the final boss in the Ancient Grove, and I got that. I'll put the footage at the end of that drop in. That was really good. I've got to say though, when it dropped, I was more excited until I actually looked at the stats on it, and I thought, well, it's not massively better. 2 of those would be great because of the +1 to all skills in Demolitionist, but I haven't got 2 of those, and that is kind of like it's like a trophy weapon. The other thing I was using was the... Where's the empowered? There you go. I had an empowered Marauder's Fury. Yeah, I mean, arguably that's possibly slightly, but it's not really. That's because of the +1 to all skills and that Blackwater cocktail thing that it chucks out. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's good. It's a shame it's ugly. I mean, it's not the prettiest gun, but it suits this build. It looks the part. And like I say, I'm kind of proud of that. I've never had that drop on a character before. It's nice to have it drop on this one. I mean, it's only level 72, so yeah, I've been running around with that for a few levels now. I think that dropped. Oh no, we'll see in the video. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe that dropped at level 80. Can't remember. I think it might have done. We'll see in a minute when I stick the footage on. Empowered Gunslinger's Jacket. At the moment, that's the best thing I've got. Amazingly, I've not got any components on that. If you look at that in Elite, look at the resistances. They're all, apart from that doesn't really matter. They're all at or above. I mean, these things are way over. Look at that. At or above their soft cap with the toggle skills on. And I haven't even got any components or anything on that yet. So, you know, it's 100% over. I could go into Ultimate now. Actually. I mean, obviously Ultimate's available because I beat Loghori and I haven't used any merits or anything. This has been a completely fresh playthrough. I've not used any merits or XP plus, nothing on this at all. I've just done a normal run through. So if we have a look at... Yeah, let's just stick the... Right, so in Ultimate, without messing around, just coming in, I've not been in here, or have I? No, I don't think I've been in here before. So those 3, 4, they've all got the 50% penalty, but they're still, these are great, they're way over. That's it's struggling a bit, he's alright, 23% over, so that's not so bad. Piercing needs a bit of a tweak, bleeding's alright, surprisingly. Vitality needs a bit of a tweak, ether a little bit, that. So because these only get a 25% penalty. I mean, I used to think, and I'm not sure whether someone will probably point this out in comments, they changed this. When you go into Elite, you get a 25% penalty on that, but those don't get the penalty. When you go into Ultimate, you get a 50% penalty on that top line and a 25% penalty there. I used to think the whole lot of that got a 50% penalty in Ultimate, but it looks like it's just a top row and the bottom get 25, so it's not so difficult anymore to get Ether and Chaos and whatever sorted out. So that's that. Yeah, so I've not... There's a mythical one of those, 82, might wear that. Depends. What happens is, like I say, you look at Fire Strike on here and you swap things around and just see, because that's the key thing. The weapon damage per second is not really the issue. It's what happens to Fire Strike when you swap gear around. For example, like, you know, if I put that on there, it drops. You can see it dropping off. It's better with that, even though that looks stupid. They're really good. Like 53% to all damage, and it's got 19% ether resistance on it. Pyroclasm mark. Is that a thing? I'm trying to remember. That's the thing that dropped out of the chest in Shattered Realm when I did the first few levels of Shattered Realm just to get to the shrine, and I got that. So that's quite nice. I mean, that's level 58 item. I'll be pushed to find anything better than that for ages, I'd have thought. So that Empowered Marauder's ammo belt. Yeah, this. The only part of the set that I've got at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. I had other bits of the set, but it didn't really make it any better than that stuff. It's a Forgotten Gods thing. Look at that. Look, fire damage adds to Flame Touched and the crit damage. Every time I get something to drop that I think is better than that, I swap it over, and that damage just drops right off because Flame Touched is buffing that. Right. So this is what it looks like now with all those points that I've allocated in between 71 and 81. So that's pretty sure that's maxed out. That probably is. That's on its way. That's got the soft cap that's on its way. I'm not going to put that any... 11 seems to be like the sweet spot for points in that. There's a technical explanation for that to do with some of those values on there, but generally you get to 11, leave it. If I equip anything and it pushes it over 11, I'll take points out of it. They're better spent somewhere else. Try and get that maxed out. That is maxed out. Inquisitor Seal's maxed out. Aura Essential's maxed out. That and that heading towards it. These things, because you get the maxed out chance to be used at level 6, 20%, doesn't go up any higher. You're not really using these so much for the damage as for the chance to set off their allocated celestial powers. So 6 points in those is fine. Like I said, if I equip anything that pushes these over 6, I'll take the points out, get them back down to 6. That's a 1 pointer, but it's buffed to 2 because I'm wearing something that puts +1 into all Inquisitor things somewhere. Yes, you can see what's going on there. And there's no, yeah, I might put 1 point in that eventually just for the additional fire and burn damage percentage. I'm not too bothered about chaos damage. Devotions, they were finished a while back. Should be pretty clear to anyone who's been following this build through, and I got a separate devotions video up showing how to do all this. But the ones that are a laugh a minute, meteor shower's fine. There's your thing to lower fire resistance. That's your health. He hasn't got a point in his foot because I took that out to put into this up here for that 6% attack damage converted to health. Anywhere on here where you can get attack damage converted to health is a good thing. My old friend Elemental Storm. That's probably why I keep calling that Meteor Storm, because I get them confused. And one lost little node point on its own that you need to keep Ascendant at 5, otherwise you can't. I think it's that needs it. Could be something else, can't remember. But yeah, finished pumping points into that a long time ago. If you get all the ones in normal, you get 47, and then it doesn't take very long to get to 55 once you start running around in elite. So that's where we are. I'm not gonna do anything in here. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna complete elite. Shouldn't take too long to get to 100. Because what I'm going to do in elite is, let's have a look where I am with this quest. Bring Olgrim's keepsake. Yeah, so I'll get up to Malmouth, and then after doing a couple of quests up in Malmouth, I should get to Revered, because I'm pretty sure. Actually, am I lying? Malmouth Resistance, can never find it. Can never find it. Starts with M, doesn't it? There you go. Look. Right, so Malmouth Resistance is, I don't know what's that, 5th quarter of the way into Honoured, but it's got a, oh come on man, it's got a writ on it. These have all got writs on. As soon as you hit Honoured by a writ, consume it, you get your plus 50%. So yeah, so running around in Malmouth for a bit, do a few quests for them, get that up to Revered. As soon as that gets to Revered, you can buy the XP potions for plus 100% XP for an hour. Once I get that, I'll be brilliant. I'll be running around gaining loads. I mean, there's some stupid things you could do. I mean, if you want to get Leovinus rings and put them on before you cash quests in for that extra sweet 6% XP, I can't be bothered. I'll just drop the 100% experience potion, and what you find then is you level up really quickly. And what I tend to do, once you get to 94, you don't worry too much about how fast you're leveling up, because there's no gear that you're going to be using that's higher than all this stuff in here that's like maxed out. Their maxed out stuff's 90. Anything that drops that's max levels 94. So once you get to, you're not going to be picking something up and thinking, oh, I wish I was level 95 so I could equip this hat or whatever, because you're not going to get anything that's yeah, I can buy all this Revered stuff. Yeah, okay, so what have we got on here? Devil touched ammo, that's that stuff that dropped the components I'm talking about. That's that stuff that drops everywhere. I've got that on, actually I've got a purified salt on there for the ether resistance, because you need that. That's that thing. So once you stick that on, that sorts your ether resistance out. It's a shame to have to waste one on a gun, but you know, I'm doing so much damage it doesn't really matter. I'd rather stay alive. That's got Hex's Kiss on it, and Hex's Kiss. Hex's Kiss is an honoured level. Which one is it? That one there. Does fire damage and burn damage. I'm worried too much about the chaos damage, but look at that, 15% chance of 15% reduced targets resistances for 5 seconds. I mean, that's a bit of a maths problem, but you've got one of those on each gun, so you're laughing. So that, combined with that Soleil's thing, you've got all sorts of resistance reduction going on. Ectoplasm, I think I was getting a little bit of a energy regen issue, but I don't know. Hex's Delight. So that's the elemental damage one. That's this thing down here. Where is it? There it is. So once you get to Honoured with Coven and you're level 65 or above, you can start slapping these things on. I'm not going to... I doubt I use anything else on the guns apart from that. I think the level 100 guy I've got is using that as an augment on guns. It's pretty good, and that stuff's okay for your... What have I got on all of them? Cinder bark powder. Oh yeah, Bismail. Oh, they're all right. Look at that, fire and lightning and a bit of bleeding. That's why that bleeding resistance is good, because I've got that on there. Have I got that on? No, I've got 2 Hex's Delights on one of those things. Leathery hide for the stun, reduced stun duration on that. That's the only... Yeah, I think the only component you can get reduced stun duration from is that thing. Like I said, I ain't even got an augment or a component on those. And that's not because I'm playing like a muppet, it's because I don't need it. I could put something on there, but I just haven't bothered. It's got anti-venom salve on it. Yeah, 48. So that'll drop, but I don't even need that really. I think I put that on there ages ago when I needed it, now I don't need it. Something's giving me massive amount. Yeah, that look. 59%. Yeah. So that's where I am. What I'll do, I'll shut up now and I'll just tag some action footage on for the last few minutes. And I'll get another video up, I don't know, maybe once I get to the get the XP pot and start running around getting loads of XP quickly and leveling up quicker. I might not do another video on this until 894, shouldn't take too long. Right, I'll just say goodbye for now. Thanks for watching that. Enjoy the next few minutes of action footage coming up, and I'll catch you all in the next video as soon as possible.